everyone, and welcome if you are new here. Today's video is a bit more of a serious topic. I wanted to just come on and have a bit of a chat with you guys. So today I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew at 16. It's such a weird age to be at when you're a teenager and you've got everything thrown at you from every direction and you're expected to make really big decisions in your life that even an adult would struggle to make. I'm sure we've all been there where we wish we could turn back time and talk to our younger self, especially our 16-year-old self, because of it being such an important time when you're at school with GCSEs and figuring out what you want to do after school, what career you want to go into. So this is just what I would tell myself if I could go back and speak to me. And hopefully you can take something from this that will apply to you whether you are 16 or you're older or younger, because I think it's all important information anyway. So the first thing that I wish I knew was that it's okay to not have everything figured out. You know, when you're at that age, you think that you need to know everything, who you are, who you want to be, what career you want to go into, what university you're trying to get into, what grades you need, and there's just a lot happening at that time. And I wish that I knew that it was okay to not know, that it was okay to figure it out as I went along instead of trying to pinpoint an exact plan of where I was trying to get to. You know, there's always time to go back and discover things if you set your mind on one path. You don't need to decide on your future at that age, and I think that it's so harsh that that amount of pressure is put onto people at that age, because who actually knows? I don't even think that any adult knows what they're wanting to do, especially not when you're still trying to figure out who you are, never mind where you want to be. This kind of leads on to the second point of don't put your whole heart into one thing. That's what I did, and I'm so grateful for where it's got me, because I'm doing my dream course at uni, I've got amazing friends, and I'm doing something that I really enjoy, but sometimes I really regret not searching for something different. You know, you have all this time when you're young that you can go out and explore different options. You can try different things, try new hobbies. You know, hobbies can become a career, it can become an income. You don't have to stick with the first thing that you enjoy, and I don't think anyone should stick with it. I think you should try new things, and if you really enjoyed that, then go back to it, but don't just go, oh, I'm good at this, or oh, I enjoy this one thing, that's all I'm going to put my attention on. Try a few different things. You'll find things that you don't enjoy, you'll find things that you really love. I think that school is such a difficult time anyway, without the stress of worrying about who you want to be, where you want to go, grades. It's also quite stressful with people, and some people can be quite nasty, but I think it's so important to remember that whatever someone says about you does not actually matter. It doesn't define you what someone says about you. It's how you think and how you feel about yourself that actually matters. So be kind to yourself. That's the most important thing. If you get anything out of this video, it's that you should be kind to yourself. Be gentle. You are the only consistent thing in your life. So what you say about yourself is the main important thing, and it should always be kind things. It should be encouraging yourself. It should never be anything negative. So kind of linked to that is that everyone always has something going on. It's never just you. You're never alone in how you're thinking or feeling. Everyone is going through their own kind of struggle, whether it be big or small in comparison to what you're going through. It doesn't really matter. Everyone deals with things differently, and unfortunately sometimes people react to their own hurt and their own trauma in nasty ways, and their actions towards you can show that. It doesn't justify it. It never justifies it. But you should always use that as a reminder that it's never anything to do with you. It's always their own feelings and their own hurt that they are dealing with. So hopefully that helps you to ignore anything negative that anyone says about you to you, whether it be to your face, behind your back, just ignore it. It's not worth it. You'll probably laugh when you think about some of the things that people have said about you, because they're not true. They're never true. It's just that people can be hurtful, they can be nasty, and it's obviously easier said than done to ignore things like that. But the more that you practice it and the more that you tell yourself the opposite and positive things, the more that you'll start to believe yourself rather than other people. And that's what you should be doing. But likewise, you're never alone in how you're feeling. You know, everyone's dealing with something. So my final point is that you should never be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. Everyone needs help at some point in their life, whether they're old, they're young, whether it's a small problem, big problem. Everyone can use a helping hand, and that's not anything to be embarrassed about. I wish that I knew that. I wish that I put my pride aside and actually asked for help instead of just bottling it all up, because bottling it up just doesn't work. It makes it worse, from my experience anyway. You know, honestly, I didn't think I'd make it to 21, but here I am. I'm happy as I ever can be, and that is because I actually started to speak about my feelings and my problems instead of just keeping it all to myself and dealing with it in really, really negative ways. It's obviously easier said than done. It can be quite hard to open up, and I think that's when you need to find someone that you really trust, whether that be a parent, a friend, a teacher that you really get on well with, because chances are that they've dealt with something. It might not always be the same thing, but everyone's at least had some kind of experience, at least I've found anyway, that they can relate to. And sometimes it's not even about getting a solution, it's just about having someone there to listen and a shoulder to cry on instead. So that kind of wraps it up for today. I could talk about this for so long. I have so many thoughts about what I personally would tell myself. There's a lot more personal things that I would go into as well. But I'd love to know what you would tell your younger self if you could, or any advice that you have for someone who is 16. And again, it's okay to not have everything figured out at that age. You know, everyone's dealing with something, and it can be stress, it can be a lot of emotions happening around about that time. So please, if you are going through anything, open up to someone. I promise it'll be worth it. And remember to go out there and have some fun and try new things, explore all your options. Don't get yourself tied down to just one thing. And next time that someone says something to you, just remember that they're dealing with something, and not to take it to heart, because it's just not worth it. You know, go into the mirror instead and tell yourself how beautiful you are, how much you appreciate yourself instead, because it'll make you feel so much better than listening to what anyone else has to say about you. And that kind of goes for everyone. That's not just for a teenager, that is literally everyone. People need to listen to their own self more. And if you take anything away from this video, whether you're 16, younger, older, be kind to yourself. Because the kinder that you are to yourself, the kinder you're going to be to other people, and the further you're going to go, because you'll start to appreciate things more. So with that, I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!